Diablo has delayed our podcast once again.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah. I mean, I would have had everything all buttoned up earlier if not for Diablo. So that probably pushed it back at least a week, possibly two.
That's okay. You know, you got to enjoy life.
Yeah. Enjoy while you can, right? But yeah, actually, I mean, I guess Diablo. I may as well talk about it for a bit. So you haven't, I guess you haven't looked, I know I asked you and you said you weren't really interested in playing it at the moment, but have you looked into it at all or?
Nope. I mean, I have watched a few hours of people playing it.
Okay.
Like the beta and stuff mostly.
Got it. Okay.
I don't know. I mean, it looks very slow.
Very slow. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. I've been playing Path to Exile for a long time, and I've been playing Flicker Strike almost exclusively that entire time. Mm-hmm. So, like, my perception of what an ARPG speed is like broken.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, like, I guess I don't remember. It's been a long time, so I don't totally remember Flicker Strike and exactly how, like, wild it was. But, like, I mean, you don't start out like that, right? I mean, it takes a while to get to a decent speed.
And I hate all the time that I'm playing like that.
Okay, fair enough. Oh boy, yeah. Okay, so you know, obviously, like for long-time listeners, actually, I don't even remember how long it was. Maybe even not that long time, but for listeners, you know, I mean, like, because you know, we played obviously the Diablo 2 Resurrected when that came out. We played Diablo 2 way back in the day as well. But like, I mean, that was the last time we got a major disruption to the podcast was playing Diablo 2. And I tried to talk you into playing some Diablo 3, but I know you did not enjoy it or have a good time with it. And you know, we played Path of Exile quite a bit together. And I guess I'll say, I think, because okay. I think your complaints with Diablo 3, you know, make sense based on like, you know, what you like out of ARPGs in the sense of like, you know, you want to be able to, you know, make a build without it just being like the obvious intended, like,
well,
go ahead.
If I'm honest, I don't even really think that like that is honestly what appealed to me at the end of the day. It appealed to me in the same way that like Dark Souls PvP appeals, in that like I could compete with people in like a knowledge-based challenge instead of like a reflex-based challenge.
Okay.
And like Path of Exile's economy was that.
Okay.
Right? And I could like be like, okay, I'm going to do this thing to make a bunch of money so I'm powerful early so I can make even more, you know.
Okay.
It's what we did with like trading. It's why I enjoyed playing Diablo 2 when we traded, right?
Yeah, okay.
It was like, okay, if we just do this thing, then we can like manipulate the economy into like getting the thing that we want.
Okay, all right. So that's
like that doesn't exist anymore.
No, okay, I see. I understand the issue. Because well, then my argument.
Yeah, and even in Path Exile, that doesn't really exist. Because like they've made the knowledge challenge too hard for me. I mean, that's really, I just like, they went too far and I was like, okay, I can't keep up anymore. So
I've maxed out the knowledge challenge.
Yeah. It's like, it used to be simpler.
Oh boy, man, we're like 4 minutes in and I think we've already got the title of the podcast. Maxed out the knowledge challenge.
Maxed out the knowledge challenge. It's just like, okay.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, I'll explain the thing I was going to explain, but now I realize that it's going to mostly fall on deaf ears because like I was thinking it was going to be more along the lines of like the complexity of Diablo 3 was just so dumbed down, right? Which honestly, I like Diablo 3 for the dumbed downness just because it was casual enough that I felt like I could just jump in and out of it without really having to, you know, worry too much or invest that much time. It was like
I never had a problem with Diablo 3's gameplay. It's just there was never like the ability to crush real people's dreams.
Okay,
which is what I want.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. I mean, because like, you know, the things that they...
but in a harmless way, you know, like through a video game.
Yes. In the nicest way possible?
Mm-hmm. In a way that doesn't actually like affect anyone in a real way.
Oh boy.
Right? If your Dark Souls character dies or like you accidentally sold a good item for too little.
Yeah.
it's like, you'll be okay.
Yeah, this too shall pass.
Yes.
Yeah, because I mean, like, you know, the Paragon system now in Diablo 4 reminds me much more of Path of Exile in that, like, it's a tree where it's got like little bits of, like, you know, strength or vitality or, you know, like damage reduction and stuff along the way, and as well as like larger nodes where like they do some more interesting things, and you can like slot glyphs into those nodes to do even other things. And I mean, the system is interesting and it adds some depth, and like I think that it's a good mix between like it's not as punishing as like Diablo 2. And it's not as confusing as Path of Exile. So for me, it strikes a nice balance.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good. No, that's what you want.
It is. I mean, I'm having a little bit of trouble with my build just because they nerfed it before I really, and I probably shouldn't have even started it in the first place, knowing that they nerfed it. Because I'm doing Whirlwind, right? And it still works.
Well, you got to do what you got to do.
You got to spin to win.
Yeah.
So I mean, it works, but like, it's, you know, it's been a little bit of a slog, but like they also changed something else, which was interesting, but is also like making things like, I feel like they're going to have to shift some things around, is like, there's now uniques and legendaries, and like the legendaries have powers that you can extract, and you could put on other things, and they're more common, you know, like you get them more than you get uniques. Uniques are like now actually super rare, like really, really rare, and have like specific affixes to them that are unique to those items, hence uniques. Sure. And like, so, you know, the grind now is trying to get good, like high level legendaries, and it's like less focused on uniques. Like the uniques are usually best in slot, but like you can usually find a good alt legendary that will do the job, right? Like, and we'll still get you to do the content that you want.
Sure, it's uniques and rares in Path Exile.
Okay.
Conceptually.
Yeah, and because rares still exist in this. It's like there's still rares, but there's a level above them now with like extractable qualities. And so like being able to like extract those, it's like, so if you get a shit one, but you get a good roll on like the affix or whatever, like the actual, like the legendary power, you can pull that off and put it on an item that has good rolls and everything else, or even on a different item entirely, right? It's like, you know, if you have something on a chest piece, like you might be able to put it on pants, for instance. And
yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah.
So, I mean, and it's fun, you know, the open world is interesting. They also did a smart thing. We thought they were going to do a dumb thing, and ended up they didn't. They said they weren't going to do the dumb thing, which is they're not like, you know, don't have to re-explore the map, and you don't have to like refine, like there's like these altars scattered all over the map that give like stat points, and there's like a lot of them. You don't have to do them every season. Like once they're unlocked, they're done. Like
that's good.
Yeah, so there's less of a grind to start out with. But yeah, I mean, so I don't know. We'll see how things go. I mean, as of right now, apparently somebody is DDoSing Diablo 4, so you can't even get in at the moment. If that dates the podcast at all, but so it's during I think the first DDoS attack. Hopefully there won't be more to follow. But
there will. Yeah. If I remember correctly, WoW had that problem.
Oh boy, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah. I mean, at some point the rest of my friends will buy it, and at that point I'll probably play it first season, is what I would imagine. So I'll let you know.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you do decide to get into it, I'll jump in.
Does the Necromancer have skeletons?
It does.
Yep, there we go. Sold.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't, I have no burning desire to play it at the moment.
Yeah, no worries. Well, yeah, I mean, if you do decide to jump in for a season, let me know. I think I will most likely be down for that.
But we've both been on the nostalgia train, because while you've been playing the new Diablo, I have been playing an old Final Fantasy.
Oh, yes?
I went back and I played and beat 10.
Oh, and shit!
Yeah, and I really beat it. I made my characters hilarious and one-shot the final boss. Thing.
Nice. Did you do the Chocobo thing?
Yeah, I beat okay. The Chocobo race is the one thing I cheated on. I will say that. I was like, I'm never ever going to get a 0 time on this fucking race. So I'm just going to cheat with the cheat engine. But I did everything else. I did the forest mini game, did all that stuff legitimately. It was great. Nice. I loved it.
Nice.
It's really good.
Man, I still haven't played a Final Fantasy. I just remember watching you play that Final Fantasy, and that's...
Oh, yeah.
There's not a lot of games that I've just watched you play, but I was just like, yeah, you know what? This is definitely a watch experience.
Yeah, it was weird. It was very weird coming back to it as an adult. It was like, wow, I did not get this game at all.
What do you mean by
I was
that?
playing... I just I don't think I understood how leveling up really worked in a deep way, like how you could abuse it. I didn't understand how like the themes of the story. Like I don't think I understood really that like all the Spearin religious leaders were dead. Like I kind of understood that Orin and Seymour were dead, but even then I didn't really accept that somehow as a child, I remember. Like just so much was lost on me. So it was such a better experience this time.
Oh, that's so
It's
interesting.
really great.
Yeah, I remember fits and starts about that game. I remember fucking Blitzball, right? That's what I
Yeah,
remember.
dude. Oh my god.
I feel like as you may have played quite a decent amount of Blitzball.
Blitzball is still fucking annoying as shit. Also something I did not understand at all as a kid. For sure, I did not understand that.
Oh, I believe that. Oh, that's funny. Oh man. So you're jumping on the nostalgia train. I also jumped on the nostalgia train again. In addition to Diablo. So, we watched last time Cyber City Oedo, and so I think, and then what did we watch after? I think we watched Kaleidostar after that. I think that's right.
Kaleidostar.
Maybe we watched Kaleidostar first. I can't remember which. Have you ever heard of Kaleidostar?
Kaleidostar.
Yeah, Kaleido.
Sure, I found it.
Okay. Yeah, it's about like a girl that like runs off to join the circus, basically.
Oh,
but like
okay.
Cirque du Soleil circus.
Yes.
It's like I heard it was good, and I kind of looked at it, like we kind of put it off for a while because I was like, but I was like,
Yeah, it looks bad.
okay, right? So, I was like, but we had just finished watching Cyber City, and so I was used to like an older style of animation. I don't really
Sure.
like, and I mean, Cyber City was gorgeous, as we discussed like last time.
Sure, but
so-
it was, yes, you're right.
Whereas this is a TV anime, it's not a movie, basically. So it's like the quality levels were not the same. But you know what? Still remarkably good. But oh man, dude, that was such a nice little anime. God, that was such a nice little anime to watch. It was just very enjoyable. Not much to say about it other than I enjoyed it. But the real point was, so I mean, we watched a couple of older things, right? Like we watched Cyber City, we watched this Kaleidostar. I can't remember exactly the order in which those two things happened. But I've had for a while now the original Gundam on the list to watch. And I was like, look,
Oh, hell yeah.
if not now, then when? Like, we got to
Yeah,
do it
there you
now
go.
while our eyes have still adjusted.
That was smart, actually. That was smart.
So we watched all of, the original 0079, UC, like, the original Gundam.
Yes, Gundam. You watched Gundam.
We watched Gundam. And then after that finished, Lauren was like, okay, fine. I guess we can watch Zeta and Double Zeta.
Oh, shit. I've never even seen those.
Yeah, so we watched Zeta and Double Zeta. So we did it, and we watched Char's Counterattack. I mean, we ran
Oh,
the
fuck. You watched Char's Counterattack. Wow.
whole fucking gamut, dude. I'm Gundammed up. I'm Gundammed up to
Damn,
the gills.
That's impressive. Yeah.
I gotta say, like the experience that I had going back and watching Cowboy Bebop. I realize I watched like maybe 2.5 episodes of that show. I thought I had like watched all of it or something, or watched a lot of it. I had watched like 2.5 episodes max, because I'm like, I don't recall any of this. What I do recall is, and actually I think I came to this realization, I think that most of the things that I knew about that were from that one, like, what, PlayStation 2 or 3 game?
Yeah, dude, we played a shit ton of Gundam story games. I mean, I never watched the anime. Everything I know comes from the video games.
Okay, yeah, I think I may have I know I watched the first episode before.
We had, there was like a Gundam battle game. There was like the Xeon Federation game.
Yep.
And all of them were just Journey to Jaburo.
Journey to Jaburo was specifically the one where I'm like, I know everything that happens up to this point, but I have never seen these episodes. It was such a bizarre experience. I was like, oh, this is when the Doms attack. oh, this is when, they fight Char in this one thing. It's like, oh, this is when blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, and now they're in Jaburo and this thing is going to happen. I'm like, but I've never seen this episode. How do I? It's like, this is such a bizarre experience.
Yeah, just constant deja vu. That's very interesting.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was weird. I mean, it was good. Honestly, like, you know what? It holds up better than I thought. Like, that was my big takeaway from the first one, was I was just like, I thought this was going to just be like, I was going to put Lauren through this. I was just going to make her watch this. And then afterwards, I was going to have to strap in for like 6 months of shoujo anime or something. But like, no, it's actually a pretty good show. I mean, it's silly, right? But like, it's also not silly. Like
yeah, no. I mean, it's original Gundam. It has to be good.
Yeah. I did notice some of the very weird animation things. Like, apparently, I guess the dude was sick for some portion of time, and they were just, running the show without him. And boy, did they draw some stuff real weird. Oh boy, it was bad. But yeah, I mean, otherwise, like, honestly, like, start to finish, I was pretty pleased with how it went. Zeta was interesting. Zeta was, I mean, so are you familiar at all with like Zeta or Double Zeta?
Not really, no.
Okay. I mean, I certainly didn't know the storyline. I guess, the Quibbly suit, like the big, like, it's like the white suit with the shoulder pads and like the bug nose. You remember what I'm talking about?
Bug nose?
Yeah, it's like kind of like a little bit of a mosquito nose looking thing, I think. It's like, it was in Gundam Battle Assault. If you look it up, you'll be like, oh, the Quibbly. Qubbely.
Oh, the Quibbly. Yeah.
So the Quibbly is from Zeta and Double Zeta. So weird. I was like, oh my God. It's like, it was one of those moments I was like, oh my God, I remember this from Gundam Battle Assault. It's the fucking Quibbly.
Well, yeah, like, Zeta's also where the fucking nuke launcher Gundam comes from, right?
Oh, the nuke launcher Gundam. Which one is
that? Not? No, the one with the shield that like shoots nukes.
Oh boy. That I don't remember.
That's a different one, I guess. Anyway.
Okay, but yeah. So, Zeta was weird. Zeta was weird because like I feel like it got really like we're selling toys. I guess because it was like the first, because Gundam wasn't from what I understand, the original Gundam when it came out was not popular. Like it was kind of a huge flop. And it wasn't until later that it became a thing. But I feel like once it did become a thing, Zeta was very much a we're going to sell toys type of thing. And so there was just a lot of suits. And I was just like, oof, I am having trouble keeping up with this.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm just scrolling up the suit list and it just doesn't stop.
It's insane.
Oh, this is where Psycho Gundam comes from too, huh?
It is where Psycho Gundam comes from. Psycho Gundam is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But one thing people warned me about, and I was not prepared for it. I thought I was, but I was not prepared for how ridiculous it was. Because, I guess the guy that makes Gundam, who I guess I should know his name, but I don't. I just spelled it Gundam.
Gundam Battle Assault.
Gundam Battle. Tamino. Yoshiyuki Tamino. But anyway, little slap happy in the original Gundam. Like, just a lot of people slapping each other, going on, right? Just throughout. Okay. And people were like, ha ha ha. If you think that Gundam was slap happy, just wait for Zeta. Holy shit, man. I feel like you couldn't go like 5 minutes in that show without somebody. It's like if they weren't in a Gundam, they were coming out of a Gundam and getting slapped.
How dare you?
I mean, it's like everyone, just like fucking, just
no, yeah,
Captain Bright.
And they're like floating.
They're floating
because they're in space.
Oh, yeah.
Or are they in space in this?
They are in space. I mean, it's like the same thing. It's like they're in space. They're not in space. Although I will say I was noticing this while watching Gundam, and I do really appreciate the attention to detail there. Of like anytime during the series when they would be in space and they would have to go to Earth, like obviously like re-entry is always a thing, so that was always just like a concern of like, we have to make sure that we're able to re-enter safely. But then once they got there, it was very much like okay, we're basically stuck here until we can find transport back. It's like you can't just jump in your Gundam and shoot back off into space. Like you got to find a shuttle and you got to get it loaded onto a shuttle and go back to space. So like going to Earth was always like, it's always a thing. It's like, oh, we got to go to Earth. Okay, well, we got to fucking strap in and make sure we got an exit strategy because we might be here for a while.
Yeah, stuck on Earth.
So yeah.
Yeah, I remember that from Gundam Wing.
Yeah, I guess that was in Gundam Wing as well. And, so obviously, like, that's just, they continued the tradition of, it's a big deal to get back into space in the Gundam universe. It's not just like some bullshit thing. But yeah, I mean, overall, and Double Zeta was so weird, man. Because it starts off basically like as a comedy for the first half.
Oh, God. Okay. And then, like...
And then becomes like an actual anime, like an actual Gundam anime. I think, from what I understood, he made it like less like serious because the end of Zeta is like really depressing. And so they were like, you okay? Like, it's like, whoa, this is really dark. And so he was like, the first fucking half is literally, it's like slapstick. And like, to some degree it works. To some degree, towards the end, I was like, okay, we have to stop this. Like, we have to get to a show eventually. But, but yeah, it was, and so I don't know. Like, I feel like the military like aspect of it kind of like slipped, in some of the later ones. Like, I feel like that was more present in Gundam. But I mean, nothing really. I was kind of hoping at some point for something more like MSO8 team, and I mean that, which was foolish. Like, it was never going to be like that.
It was never going to be like that.
Yeah, but we actually just started last night. We started War in the Pocket, which is another one of those like
oh, cool,
side ones of UC of Universal Century, and like so far, I mean, we've only watched I think we watched 2 episodes. Two episodes. And so far, I mean, like it's I think it's going to have that I think it's going to have that 8th MS team type of like groundedness more than the other Gundams do. So I mean,
War in the Pocket.
Everybody says War in the Pocket is like one of the best Gundam series of all time. So
yeah, that's what I had a toy, I think. Oh, yeah, this thing with the fucking it has like the arm guns. The main Gundam, right? Yeah. Yeah, War in the Pocket. I know that one. That's a good one.
So I'm stoked for that.
Cool.
But
Lots of Gundam, huh?
Holy shit, man. Like, that was basically all we did. It's all the anime that we watched. It was like that.
All the anime is Gundam. I mean, that's a lot of Gundam.
It is a lot of Gundam. We watched all of Gundam, and then once that was over, I started playing Diablo. That was basically how it worked.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, man. Oh, shit. So yeah, that I think that's mostly what I've been up to. And you've been
watching Succession's done now.
Oh, how was so I mean, I heard good things. How was Succession? It was great. Okay.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah.
Excellent.
So good.
Yeah. It's on the list. Actually, Lauren and I were just talking about that very recently because I was like, oh, we should watch Succession. She's like, we talked about that like a month ago. I'm like, oh, is that the show we were talking about we needed to watch?
Yes.
I was like, oh, shit. Okay. Yes. Then I reiterate, we do need to watch Succession.
Yes.
So that will happen.
That's a good one. I'm watching that From show. It's essentially just a Lost clone.
We got Lost and we got From.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I sometimes I have trouble remembering what it is when I want to watch the episode each week, and I'm like, last week I was like, okay, when? No, that's not it. Next? No, fuck, that's not what it is. Fuck, what is it? I know it's one of those adverb or whatever words. It took me like a good 5 minutes to be like, wait, From, that's what it is.
Oh my god.
Good.
It's good.
Worth checking out.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Speaking of shows that are impossible to search for or remember the names of, did you happen to watch You at all?
Oh, You. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, we talked about, I mean, I have a
Oh no! I keep forgetting about this. Every time you tell me,
it's okay.
Okay, listen, I got my notepad open.
Okay.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, You. Yeah. There we go. Those are the 2 things that are on it.
I have a very specific advantage over Steven in all cases in this because usually I'm finishing editing the podcast on the day that we do the podcast. Which is also the case today. Actually, I just finished listening to it. So I know all the things that we talked about last time and remember them very vividly because I literally just heard them. Whereas for you, it's been like a month and a half. So
yeah, it was just a random conversation I had a month and a half ago.
Yes. Whereas for me, it's a documented conversation that I now participated in, heard for a first time, and then heard for a second time in the final cut run through. So I have now it lived in one way or another that conversation no less than 3 times. Oh boy. So yeah, no, okay. I'll be interested to see if you enjoy that. I'll try to remember mentioning that again, because I will be listening to this most likely a day or two before the next time we record this.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll remember.
And I will remember. Have you continued your fruits basket at all?
No, I have not.
Okay. I kind of didn't expect that you were going to, but yeah. No. Okay. I guess that's my answer. I will stop asking about it.
Yeah, I mean, no, thanks for reminding me about it. I just, what anime? I watched, the new season happened, so I was watching like 4 or 5 new shows for a while, but they all were terrible, so. Because I always try to keep up with the new seasons, even though they're always terrible nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you have a real low bar, that's
I do have a real low bar, though. That's the thing. That's the scary thing to me. It's like my bar is very, very, very low. Like, I'm not asking for a lot. Like, let me look at what came out. Just like, other than like the bullshit, like season 7s of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, Oshinoko, I guess that was good. I'd already read Jigo Karaku, so I don't care about that. And then I do need to watch Heavenly Delusion, I guess. Okay. No, there were a couple things. There was like 2.
Everything was shit. Actually, everything was sort of okay.
There was 2. No, there was 2.
Okay. Right.
Out of, what? 30.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, yeah. Anime. Yeah. It never stops.
No, they keep making it. I mean, I got a couple things on my list that I know. I mean, like, there's one, I can't remember what it was. It's like, oh fuck, it's something that like Lauren like saw it. She's like, I want to put that on the list. I'm like, you sure? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. It's an isekai, but it doesn't look like a very good one. It looks like a real bad one. But I mean, you know what? Maybe I'll eat my words.
Which one though?
Oh God! I mean, can you tell me some of the ones that have came out recently? I could tell you.
It's the new like craze. So like half of them are that. Was it like a romantic one?
It may have been.
Was it Ancient Magus's Bride?
No.
Ascendance of a Bookworm?
That one was good.
You guys watched that one already?
Yeah, we watched that one. That one was good.
That one was good. Yeah, I love that.
I hope that we get more of those because that was.
Yeah. I mean, you can. I mean, you won't, but it has like it's done.
Oh, like the manga is done?
The light novel.
Oh, light novel. Okay, yeah. Reincarnation of the Strongest Exorcist was not bad. I hate how long these titles are.
What are you talking about? That's like the style. Don't you love it?
Oh my God. There's actually a whole section on Crunchyroll called the English translation of the title was too long, so we couldn't fit it all ... And I'm like, they know.
Fit it all ... Awesome. Well, whatever. I guess I don't want to name random isekais.
No, I'm looking through a list of recently released isekais. Actually, you know what I should just do? No, I'm going to make this much easier on myself. I'm going to narrow this down because it's going to be on my watch list on Crunchyroll. I can just look that up. It'll be one of the most recent things that I added to my watch list on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, that'll be really easy.
Yeah. Can you imagine if I was like just smart and just did smart things?
No, because I'm right there with you. Yeah. You have to be smart to imagine smart things.
What a world that would be.
Yeah, I know.
I think, this is the one. I got a cheat skill in another world and became unrivaled in something blah, blah, blah.
In both worlds?
In the real, or something like that.
Yeah, that one's trash garbage.
Is that one trash garbage? Yeah, I was just like, I was like, there's no way that's going to be
the
good.
First, there's a really interesting, I bet, I don't know why she wants to watch it, but there is a really interesting scene in the second episode that like got passed around.
Okay.
So she might have seen that clip and been like, ooh, that looks good.
Nope. She literally just saw it on the list. It was like, add that one. And I was like,
no, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's trash garbage.
Yep.
It's really bad. So
okay. Bad. Yeah. Okay. So you know what? I wanted to talk to you about this. And I know you hate these kinds of questions. So I apologize in advance for one of these questions that you despise me asking. But do you have a favorite anime of all time?
What are you talking about? I love these kind of questions. They're just unanswerable.
Okay. I just thought you got frustrated every time I asked this because you're just like,
no,
I don't know. I could pick 50, Jason. Could you shut up?
Yeah. Oh, no, I know. I like trying to puzzle out an acceptable answer to that question. It's just always...
Can I give you mine, and if that is any help at all? Because I thought about this a lot. Because I was just like, if I had to name one, and I'm deciding that I have to name one, like, what would be my favorite anime of all time? And I every time I think about this, I cannot stop coming back to, it has to be Log. Like, Legend of the Galactic Heroes ruled so much. and had so many of the things that like I like in like anime, or just in general in like shows, that I was just like, it just fucking, because it just like, it has like an interesting main character who's hilarious, and it has like a lot of like military tactics stuff, which I didn't really realize that I was so into. But I mean, like, I like, you know, MSO8 team. I like fucking, you know, I guess that MSO8 team. It's like MSO8 team, and that made me realize
I like MSO8 team.
Yeah, I do. I mean, like, I do like military tactics shit. Like, you know, I mean, we had that whole episode where you talked about, you know, military tactics shit, you know, in like ancient battles and stuff. And you know what? I found that conversation really interesting.
Yes,
because
of course.
I like that shit.
It appeals to our inner ape.
Yep. And like, you know, it just like, it has just like, in like, just, there's like a level of like intrigue behind it. It's like Game of Thrones in space, but like, you know, it's good, and like, you know, start to finish, like starts good and ends good. Like, I don't know. It's just like, I have trouble picking out if there's anything that I really dislike about the show. I mean, like, other than like the visuals are dated, but like the second you get over that, and it doesn't take long because it's like 100 episodes, it's like after like 2, you're like, okay, I'm used to this now. This is just how it looks. Dude, fucking Log, man. Holy shit. Like, I can't say enough good things about it. And so, and I know like a long time ago when we talked about Log, you had not watched it. Have you watched any of Log?
It's way too intimidating. Mm-hmm. It's way too intimidating to start.
Because it's just 100 fucking episodes,
And no, it's not just that it's 100 episodes. I've watched hundreds and hundreds of episodes in the time between those periods. It's that it's like, it's a show that I would have to pay attention to
for 100 some odd fucking episodes.
And like, it's like the only show that I've been able, like, I did that with Twin Peaks: The Return. Yeah. Right? Like, that's a show I sat down and I was like, I'm not going to skip anything. I'm not going to look to another screen at any point. I'm going to pay complete attention because I trust David Lynch.
Yes.
To like, if I'm feeling uncomfortable and bored, that is correct. Right? And it's like, I'm sure Log is really good, obviously, but I'm scared of how good it is, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's tricky, right? Because I know that is such it's my comparison to that is when people like lose their minds at me because I've never watched The Office.
Oh, what? Yeah. I mean, that's crazy, but also that's totally reasonable.
Yeah. And it's like, even though The Office is done, right? It's like, there are so many episodes of The Office, and the thought of just sitting down and now watching The Office, it's like, even though I know everyone says it's good, and even though like the scattered episodes that I've like caught at people's houses were good, right? Like, I was like, okay, yeah, cool. But I was like, but I don't need to now, you know? Like, I just don't need to. Like, I feel like I'm not at a point anymore in my life where like, I just don't need to do it. I just don't need to do it. I feel like I have nothing to gain from it. And people are, I'm sure, like screaming at me right now. Like, what are you talking about? You're missing something. So, and that's honestly how I feel about Log, but I totally understand the feeling of just like, you're staring down the barrel of the show that is like laden with expectations of like, this is a masterpiece and you need to watch it and experience the masterpiece that it is.
You better enjoy this show.
Yeah. And the thing is, I think that you would. Would, but like, I'm so scared to say. It's easy for me to say that about something like Fruits Basket and be wrong, because you could like, you know, there's not those same expectations on it. Like, if you stop after after season 1, you're like, whatever. I didn't like Fruits Basket, but like going into Log, it's like you gotta like, people are gonna be like, you gotta do the whole thing.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot. Shit. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think you would like it, but yeah, I mean, I don't know how to, I guess, you know, I guess the only thing I would say is if you watched like the first 3 episodes of Log and you weren't into it, you could shut it off, because that's...
Well, see, because I have done that.
Oh, okay. And you didn't...
I have, because I tried to watch, I don't think I got 3 episodes in though. I think I got 2 episodes in.
Okay.
And it's like, I could see that I could enjoy it. I just wasn't like at a point where I could sit down and enjoy the episodes fully.
Okay.
And so I was like, I don't want to like taint this with my bad mood, essentially.
No, that's fair. I mean, yeah, if you were in the mood to test drive a show, Like, I think 3 episodes of log would do you. Like, I mean, for me, like, I was just fascinated from the first episode because I just like the idea of, like, you know, a person like doing military tactics. Like, oh, you know, we're in this situation where, like, we're screwed, but we wouldn't be screwed if we just did this one thing. It actually reminds me very much of, like, the beginning of The Expanse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that same feel, like, and which is, I think, part of the reason why I liked The Expanse so much, because it reminded me of Log. I was like, oh, it's the same kind of thing where it's like, because it's like, that's, I guess, maybe one of the other things I like about it is, like, because they're kind of like a ragtag group, right? It's like they sort of come together by accident because of a series of situations, you know, where, like, just like a bunch of ships blow up, right? And, like, all of a sudden it's like somebody's like, oh, I'm the person in charge. You know, I didn't mean to be, but now I am. And, like, it becomes a thing, which, I mean, Gundam, the reason why I'm thinking about all this as well is because Gundam reminds me of the same way. I mean, White Base is very similar to, like, you know, Admiral Yang's group in Log. You know, he's like, he's all of a sudden the commander of this vessel and is kind of like, oh, okay. And, like, it's just kind of like a whole weird thing. I mean, in Log, it becomes much more formalized much more quickly than it does in Gundam, but, like, it's still just kind of like a weird, just like, oh, this is like this weird ragtag group of people, you know, within this, like, organization, you know, trying to just, like, and doing, like, you know, smart and tricky things to, you know, to outwit, like, these much larger, more powerful groups. And it's like, that's cool to me. I like that. It's so fucking cool and, like, interesting. And, like, it just, like, yeah, I don't know. I can't say enough good things about Log.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a very complex anime.
Yeah. It'd be like asking somebody to, like, watch Game of Thrones, except for if Game of Thrones had, like, ended well.
And was also, like, 3 times as long.
You know, is it, though? I mean, because...
well, I guess you're right. It probably is about the same length then.
Yeah,
actually,
because it's like,
right?
I mean, you know, there were some 2-hour episodes in Game of Thrones.
12 times...
How
many the seasons of Game of Thrones were there?
Like 7 or 8?
6? 7? Yeah, you're right. 8. 10 episodes a season, so like 80. Actually, might have been longer than Log. God, that's scary to think of.
The whole 8 seasons of Game of Thrones.
But I would also never watch Game of Thrones again.
70 hours and 14 minutes to watch all of Game of Thrones. 60... No, that's wrong. 60 minutes.
60 minutes.
That is incorrect.
Wow.
That is not the amount of time that it would take.
Well, shit, my excuses all went out the window. I didn't know I could watch it that fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Google isn't prepared to give you that information.
How long does it take to watch every episode of Legend of the Galactic Heroes? 1 day, 21 hours and 50 minutes. So 40, let's call it 46 hours on balance.
Wow, that's actually pretty good.
Half the length of Game of Thrones, a little longer than half the length of Game of Thrones.
I just have to watch 4 seasons of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the good ones. So it's like watching all the good episodes of Game of Thrones and then just stopping.
That's you know, that's compelling to a certain degree.
Okay.
My answer, by the way, is Serial Experiments Lane.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That is very good. That is very good.
Kind of the, like, exact opposite, though.
Oh, yeah. Very, very fast.
Very fast and with almost no attention to detail. Almost all, like, symbolism and indirect information.
Is that what you prefer?
I don't know. I like, you know...
I mean, you like Dark Souls, so it's like that tracks. Symbolism and indirect information.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I like overpowered people. Mm-hmm. You know, I guess I kind of exactly the opposite still. Just like, I like it when instead of a ragtag group of people using limited resources to do something amazing, I like watching someone with unlimited resources try to not use those resources to do something mundane.
Oh, geez. Yeah, that's almost like, it's almost like Mob Psycho in that way.
Well, yeah, exactly. I love Mob Psycho. I love One Punch Man, right?
Yep.
I love Ergo Proxy. I love Evangelion.
Ergo Proxy used to be my answer.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, I guess, you know, it's weird because, like, I have watched Ergo Proxy for a second time, and well, I still love it. I realized I don't love it as much as I love Log.
Yeah, it doesn't really stand up.
Yeah, but I haven't watched Log for a second time, and I don't know that. I mean, I would, though. Like,
I think Log will stand up more than Ergo Proxy will.
Yeah, I have to imagine. Yeah, I have to imagine it
will.
would. Yeah. I mean, yeah, people hold log up as a masterpiece, and I do tend to agree with that.
Ergo proxy benefits a lot from you not knowing what's going on, and once you know what's going on, it's kind of like, okay, whatever. It's less special.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just looking at my big anime list, right? You know, Princess Tutu, Revolutionary Girl Utena. Those are two strong contenders as well, I guess.
Princess Tutu. Okay, I haven't watched either of those.
Yeah.
If they're on Crunchyroll, I'm adding it to the list.
I mean, they should be. Those are both. Revolutionary Girl Utena is like a classic, and Princess Tutu is also a classic. So.
Revolutionary Girl Utena is. Oh, that's going on the fucking list then.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
And then Princess Tutu?
Princess Tutu.
That is not on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, that sucks. That one is so good.
Have you watched actually it just reminded me because it sounds similar, but have you watched what is it? Like Puella Magica?
Madoka Magica?
Yeah.
I have not actually. I really should one of these days. I know the twist, and so like
Oh, and it doesn't take anything away from it. I knew the twist as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I went into it with like this is a full deconstruction of the magical girl. Like, it doesn't take anything away from it. In fact, it's better going in knowing that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I did have one more topic before we move on to the main one, unless there was anything else you wanted to discuss.
Sure. Go for it.
Did you see the new Armored Core gameplay trailer?
No, maybe.
Wait, really? Oh
maybe
shit! There was 4 minutes of actual gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, I think I did. It just looked like Armored Core, right?
Yeah, actually, there's been some controversy.
Yeah, 11 days ago, right?
Yes,
there's been controversy about what?
Turn speed.
Oh, I did that. It was weird. The turn stuff did look weird. I just figured it was unfinished, though. If I'm completely honest, I just kind of dismissed it.
Oh, I mean, because it looks like Dark Souls turning, right? It looks like, you just turn. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, people...
Yeah, so you're talking about, like, in the first second of the video, he snaps, essentially.
Yes.
And it's like, I noticed that. I thought it was weird, and I figured it was undone, if I'm completely honest.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if that's actually going to be the truth or not. That might actually... I mean, well, it remains to be seen, right? But...
Well, because they're very... Because then again, like, at 25 seconds, he does it again, and there's no animation for the turn. And, like...
Which is very Dark Souls-esque.
There's
right?
always been animation for Armored Core turning. So, I mean, they're going to add it in, obviously.
They might not.
They should. And it would be weird if they didn't.
Yeah. I mean... I've wrestled with this for a while. Like, I do hope they do, right? Like, I feel like adding animation in for the turning, even if the turning speed remains that, like, I feel like there should be an animation there. I feel like it's weird if there isn't. Because, like, what are you going to do for tanks, You can have tanks, like, snap turning? Like, I don't know about that. But, like... At the same time, I also try to think, like, how often am I standing still in Armored Core and then changing a direction? Basically never. Like, I'm always boosting around. So I don't know how much it's going to matter, even if they didn't. But, like, I will always have this kind of, like, I don't know about that.
I mean, I just watched a walking animation happen, right? Like, from 120, or 118, he walks. And then, like, there's an animation for the way he, like, turns when his boosters are on. I don't know. It just feels like they're going to have an animation for that. It's like, you just need a step to the right and a step to the left animation. Like, it doesn't feel like it's, I don't know. I'm hoping it's just unfinished still.
I hope so, too.
This is my copium. I'm inhaling the copium.
Yeah, I know. Me too. I mean, and the other thing that people were freaking out, it's actually funny, by the way. I didn't even notice.
Oh, yeah, no. I noticed.
Yeah, I didn't notice until somebody pointed it out. Once they pointed it out, I was like, oh.
Because it looked terrible. That's why I figured it was unfinished, because it doesn't look good.
Yeah.
And everything else in that trailer looks so good.
Well, that's the thing. It's just like, why would they have that one unfinished thing then?
Because they needed to release a gameplay trailer, and they didn't have that part done yet. And they were like, whatever.
Who's going to notice?
Yeah, I mean, stuff gets changed. Stuff gets changed in, like, from Dark Souls trailers to the main game. Stuff gets changed. I'm not. Yeah. It's possible.
No, it's true. It's true. Yeah. The other thing people are freaking out about, of course, is hard lock on. But I'm less concerned about that. I feel like that is going to be okay. Like,
I'm just trying to remember how is it different.
Well, in you used to have to keep the like whatever in your box, right? Like that was like the whole thing with like the FCS.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah, so like the whole, and so what I assume it's going to be is that at a certain distance you'll be able to hard lock on, and your FCS will determine what that distance is. And they also, like, I watched the Vati video where he explains all of this. So like he was basically like, showing it's like when you don't use hard lock on and you're just using like the normal, like traditional lock on, you can also like lock on to more than one thing with your missiles, versus if you're hard locked on, everything goes to a single target. And he showed evidence of that, where it's like you can see he shot like, he swept a group of people and then, fired missiles at all of them. And then you could see in a different scene where he's clearly like maneuvering around like a single entity, and all of the missiles go to that one. So like, and it also seems like it would make like, blades like in like close combat more viable, because like you can actually, attack something instead of just flying past it at 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it. I'm also just like, I never needed to be hyped for an Armored Core game, I guess.
Oh yeah.
So
no.
Whatever they're gonna do, like, let it wash over me. It's okay. I'll still buy it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, so will I.
Yeah. I'm happy.
They somebody was like pointing out, and it's very true. I mean, like even with like, the ones we played, it's like, I mean, they're so different, each one of them, in terms of mechanics. It's like they'll have different mechanics.
Yeah. There was a time when we were using shoulder buttons to like change the angle of the camera.
Yeah.
It's like, if the turning animations don't make it in, like, I'll survive.
Yeah, I will live. I will
survive.
Actually, before we move on to the main topic, we were taking a quick little break. It's a little behind the scenes. I actually looked at my notes and I remembered a couple things. First of all, I have a correction from last time. You were talking about the chicken bacon ranch from McDonald's. And I had mentioned that I had something in Italy, and I said chicken bacon ranch because it was like it had some of the right letters, but in listening to that again, I was like, that doesn't sound right. Let me look up what they had in Italy. I had the chicken bacon onion.
Oh, ooh, that does sound good.
Oh, dude. I mean, first of all, I was like, wait a second, why would I have had something that had ranch on it? I don't actually like ranch.
Yeah, and in Europe where ranch doesn't exist.
And in Europe where ranch doesn't exist. So I immediately was like, this sounds weird, and it is not, could not possibly have been true. Chicken bacon onion. I think it's like, if I recall correctly, it's like on a ciabatta or something like that too. Like maybe I might be making that up. Yeah, it's not. It's on like it's not on a ciabatta, but it is on like a squarish like bun. Anyway, chicken bacon onion was delicious, but that was what I had, not chicken bacon ranch. Makes way more sense. Also, I finally made another music track.
Oh, okay.
It's a minute 30 seconds. Would you care to have a quick listen?
Sure.
I tried to incorporate some of the things since since the last time we talked, so hopefully that will come across. But
yeah, that was really good.
Nice.
I liked the subtle, like, flat notes.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I mean, it's good. All the parts.
Did you around?
I heard like the bass.
Yeah, at around 1 minute.
Yep. Noticed that.
Yeah, I got your side chain in there. I was just like, Steven likes the
side
big heavy.
Chain, there we go.
Big heavy booming side chain. I was just like, it's like I don't ever really do that like I should. And I was like, when you had recommended all that stuff to me, I was like, I also like the same thing that you like on this. I was like, I should just do this. And like, so I was like, yeah, all right, fucking just like hard side chain.
Yeah, it's great.
Nice. Yeah, there was some track I was listening to where it did the same thing that this was doing, and it was kind of like what made me want to make this. Because I had this, basically what happened is like maybe a month or so ago, I was like, all right, I want to start getting back into making music, but like I haven't touched anything in a while, and all my folders were a mess. So I was just sorting through things, and basically just like I was just like, I'm moving like things into a folder that are already finished, things into a folder that I want to work on, and then like stuff where I was just fucking around, and I'm just basically using that for like sound design and whatever. And so I was listening to all of the things basically to figure out what the fuck all of this stuff was. And I had like just a little bit of this like thing, right? Like it was like it was like two elements of it that I had like recorded and I just left on a shelf. I was like, and I was listening to it, I was like, this is really cool. Like, I can't just leave this. Like, I'm not going to just leave this. So I've been fucking around with this for like several weeks because it took me a while to like kind of piece this all together because I'm just rusty as hell and like my workflow is all messed up and I don't know what I'm doing anymore. But I was like, I finally got back into it. I started like trucking along and I was like, I finally got this somewhere where I wanted. Then I was like, then I was listening to something where somebody had like an arpeggio, like a thing that was like interrupted by a side chain. So like towards the end where you have that like where it kind of like goes like, you know, just kind of coming in like after the bass comes in. Like I heard that I was like, oh, I need to add a little arpeggio thing so that I can have the side chain like, you know, drop the volume of it for a bit and you have that like rising arpeggio. I was like, okay, cool. That's the end of the track. That's what I needed to fix. Glad you liked it.
Yes. Very dream pop.
Excellent. Yeah, I was going for something, you know, just kind of like light, I guess. Light and kind of cool sounding. So
yeah, well, I think you succeeded there.
Oh, thank you. So yeah, it's been a long time since I've done a little bit of music, but you know, there might be more to actually, I'm working on breakcore stuff right now. That's what I'm working on.
Oh, cool. Hell yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, been watching videos on, like, you know, like Machine Girl and Sewer Slut and stuff like that, and I'm like, I want to make music like that now. I want to make fucking just, like, amen break shit.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Listen to some funk.
Some funk. I actually was listening to some, like, some funk tutorials just to, like, see how you do it, just out of curiosity. Yeah. But yes, all right. So, shall we discuss the main thing?
Yes.
All right. Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust.
Oh, is that what we were supposed to watch this time?
Come on. It's not April, Steven. It's not April.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah.
That would have been funny.
That would have been funny. Yeah, thanks.
So I want to hear your experiences because I know that you've only watched this like, you know, not in its purest form because like this is back in the day before it was easy to find animes. And so it's like I think you've watched this on a postage stamp basically?
Yeah, definitely did not realize that this was such a good-looking movie. Mm-hmm. Also just like, you know, I was like 12. Yeah. I got very little of the nuance of the story. Not that there's like a lot necessarily, but like, damn, this was good.
Yeah.
I mean, wow.
Oh my God, this ruled.
Yeah, it was so good. Like as soon as it started and it was like the fucking carriage coming through town and all the crosses bend. Yeah. And it was just like, I was like, oh fuck, I don't remember this being this like insane looking. Like, yeah. No, so it was amazing.
I was actually very surprised by the frame rate of this. Like, because, I mean, anime is like what, like 12 frames a second or something? It's something very low. Like,
it's something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, this is a movie though, so it's animated at 24.
Yeah, okay, so anime runs at an average of 24 frames per second, but with main object animated at 8 to 12 and background objects as low as 6 to 8. Okay, so yeah, I'm not crazy. I always remember it being around 12 was what like you would actually animate like the things at. Whereas this very much like the smoothness of some of the animation in this was very good. It was almost to the point of jarring. It was just up to the point of jarring where it wasn't jarring. It just looked amazing. But like any more, and I would have been like, whoa, that looked weird.
Yes, it's a visual treat, the whole thing. And I like the past future style of everything as well. Mm-hmm. It's like it feels like they're all living in like medieval Europe, but it's also the future. Yeah.
Well, and you know, I usually, you know, end up talking about other things, right? You know, when we watch these things, I'm always just like, oh, this reminds me of blah blah blah, or this reminds me. And I was like, there was like a scene initially. And I was, you know, like, oh, okay. So, like, the first thing I'm going to tell Steven is this reminded me of Trigun. And it did. But then we went to another scene where they were in some type of, like, dilapidated, like, you know, old, like, castle type of thing. I was like, oh, this reminds me of, like, Eco or something, you know, or like Shadow of the Colossus. And then we got to another scene and I was just like, oh, this reminds me of Fallout. You know, it's just like, it was the gas station, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, this reminds me of Fallout. And then we got to fucking, you know, what's her face's castle, and I was just like, oh, this reminds me of Warhammer 40K.
Yes.
And with like the cathedral spaceship. And I'm like, this really reminds me of Warhammer 40K. And so I'm just like, I am at a loss on this one. Like, this was the visual variety of this is so insane. And at the same time, it's just like, it could have been jarring, right? Like, to have all of these like disparate pieces, but like the world just feels like, it feels so alien, and like everything is set up to be so alien that like it just works, you know? Like that, like you said, like that future past element of it already puts you in this weird space where it's like, what level of technology are we at? It's like the horses are robots, you know? It's like,
horses are just, every horse is a robot.
Yeah.
But they still call them horses.
Yeah, and they still look and act like horses, but they're robots. It's like...
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's a series of... It's like they're still coming out with Vampire Hunter D books. Mm-hmm. It's like an active series still, which is crazy. I mean... So I guess they're just drawing on this, like, world...
I could see it being, I mean, it's such a cool universe that I could see people just wanting to spend as much time in it as humanly possible. Plus, like, I mean, the time element is so interesting with D himself, because it's like, I mean, you know, even though it was kind of like, I kind of like knew it was happening once. Sorry, everybody, we're just going, by the way. You know, I know longtime listeners know that this is just how we do it. We just go.
Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't really need to say anything else, though. I mean, the title kind of tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a movie about, like...
Vampire Hunter D.
A Dampier, like a half-blood vampire.
Yeah, he's essentially Blade, but way cooler.
Yeah. And, like... Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, he's like if Blade, like, had a couple hundred years to, like, grow into himself.
Exactly. And that was actually... So that was exactly what I was about to talk about. It's like, you know, there was that scene, right, with the old man... you know, when he was buying the horse. And like, as he was talking, I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be one of the kids. But it's still just like, it's perfect. You know, it's just like, this dude has been around a long fucking time. And they are very like, they make a lot of acknowledgments about that. And I love that shit.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah.
And then like, just even more, you know, the world, just like his hand thing. Mm-hmm. You know, that's never explained.
It's never explained. I'm sure it's explained in the light novels, but it's just like...
Of course, yes. But it's just there, and you're just like, yep, he's got a hand that talks.
Yep.
That's fine. He's got a face.
That's just a thing that's happening.
Yeah. Yeah. There's the space station open. I mean, you know, it opens with the run through the town, and the vampire man, whatever his name is, Meyer Link. But then it cuts to the space station.
Yes.
In the sky, and it's just like, then you know that it's like, okay, I actually have no idea what's happening.
Yeah, and also, like, you know, it's interesting, right? Because it's like they set this up. I actually at first wasn't 100% sure what was going on. I thought that thing that had happened in the intro happened in the past.
Yeah.
And then now they're going to the distant future. So like when that wasn't the case, I was like, oh, okay. No, there is like this whole thing is happening. Yeah, the beginning reminds me so much of Trigun with like him walking through the desert. They got like their guns and everything, you know, like pointed at him. It's just like, and it like even like the actual like way that they like paint it, like the background, like it itself, like that church or whatever. I guess that's not a church. I guess I don't know what it is, but it looks very.
I think you're right.
Yeah, it looks very Trigun-y, like just in like the color choices and everything. I mean, even like the way that like the characters are drawn is somewhat.
It reminds me a lot of Cowboy Bebop too.
Also Cowboy Bebop. That's
it's Madhouse. So
yeah,
we're seeing Madhouse's particular style, because I think Bebop and Trigun are both Madhouse ultimately. So
I mean, they do everything. It feels like.
Well, they're great.
They are great.
They're good. If you can trust that they're gonna do a good job with your anime. It is Madhouse, right? I'm not wrong about that. Yeah, Madhouse. Yeah, Trigun. Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust.
Yep, Madhouse.
And they didn't do Cowboy Bebop? I'm surprised.
Oh, Sunrise. Oh, Sunrise. Sunrise also does good stuff, though.
Sure, yeah, Sunrise. The other big one. Yeah.
The other one that's also really good. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you get introduced to our bounty hunters in their, like, you know, cross-mobile.
Yeah, they're fucking, like, train tank.
Yes.
I love this thing. I mean, like, I'm a sucker for cool vehicles, and, like, I mean,
it's amazing.
What could even be said? It's like such a cool fucking intro to a thing.
Yeah, and again, you're just like, what is this? Like, what world exists where like you can drive through like a Resident Evil town being attacked by peasant vampires in an armored train vehicle?
Yes.
Like, what's going on?
What is happening here?
What is happening?
Also, I guess I took it for granted, but let me ask. I'm assuming you watched the Japanese?
Oh, no, I did not.
You watched it in English.
I watched it in English.
Interesting. Yes. Okay.
Because that's how I originally watched it. So.
Got it. Okay. I mean, and I know that like the English like was the original audio, right?
Yeah, the English dub is really good for this one too.
Okay. I wonder how different our experiences will be because I did watch it in Japanese.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How much did you like the Mercenary Company?
Oh, they were fantastic. They were all great.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, same here. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, like, honestly, I guess I should probably, like, you know, check out some of the English dub at some point, but, like, or the English original audio. But, like, yeah, I was like, it's an anime. I want to watch it. And, you know, I like watching it in Japanese, even though, like, yeah, I know this is one of the ones where it's like, people are like, actually the English.
Yeah, I think there's some, like, big voice actors here, because I recognized some, like...
Well, there's John DiMaggio. I know that for sure.
John DiMaggio, that's it. Yeah. That's him right there. Yeah. That's the one.
Bender. Bender's in this.
Yep, Bender. Yeah, and he was Nolt. Wait, which one is Nolt? Yeah, that guy. Yes, that's the name I remembered. Yep.
Interesting. Who else was in this?
I think that's really the big one.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, for sure that was like the biggest one. Yeah, actually, it's weird because like apparently like the Japanese was recorded like sometime afterwards.
Yeah, that's weird. Actually, I didn't know that. Yeah, why?
Well, because it was originally for U.S. release.
It was for America. Wow.
Oh my god. Okay, I had a moment there for a second. One of the people is voiced by Dwight Schultz. And I was like, wait, Dwight Schrute? But then I was just like, that's not his name. That's his name in The Office, that show that I haven't watched. So I was just like, what? But no, okay, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, I don't think I recognize any of these other names.
Yeah, I don't either.
So it would just be John DiMaggio that I would be.
I mean, I'm sure they've done stuff.
I'm sure they have. I mean, I'm far from like great when it comes to like voice actors, but yeah, no, I mean, like, yeah, all the character designs in this are great. You know, I mean, like, I guess it makes sense because I mean, you know, obviously, like for those of you who listened to the last episode, we decided to watch this because the person who made Cyber City Oedo also did this remake of Vampire Hunter D, and I mean, you know, character designs in Oedo were fantastic. So it's no real surprise that character designs in this are also fantastic. I mean, specifically Layla, you know, like she definitely feels like she wanted to be a Cyber City Oedo character.
Yes, no, for sure.
Super cyberpunky.
She's like a direct reference almost.
Yeah, super cyberpunky.
Yeah. Oh my god, there's a shot at 1510 when he's riding across the desert after the sand mantises, which is in of itself a great sequence. And it's just that crashed ship in the background.
Yeah, well, it was like that scene and the scene before, like in the church when he's first like, you know, getting where I was like, oh, okay, so this is just going to have a lot of Trigun stuff. No, I mean, yes, but no.
Yeah. Oh, and like the crashed ship has a mast.
Oh god, I didn't even notice that.
That's the best thing. That's the thing that I love the most about this world. It's like, it's a spaceship, but it has a mast.
Gotta have a mast.
Gotta have a mast because it's a ship.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just such an eclectic blend of styles, you know, that like shouldn't go together. Like, none of this stuff should work, but it's just like it just works perfectly.
Yeah, it's very strange. They got the tone very right. Mm-hmm. It's like even this weird. It's a very like, you know, Lost Future kind of feel.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, Warhammer 40K I think is a good way to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's a lot of cool technology lying around, but none of it is like, it's all magic.
Yes. People have long since forgotten what any of these things actually are.
And of course our main character is, you know, barely says 2 words the whole movie.
I was wondering, like, it's just like, how... Because I barely ever do these introductions. Like, you know, what's your name? D. And they just rides off. It's just like, oh, okay, this guy is not going to say a lot of shit.
Yeah, that's the real reason that the hand mouth exists, I think. Otherwise, there would be nothing to ever say.
Yeah,
he's you know, he is to D as Dandelion is to Geralt.
Yeah, that's accurate. That's a very apt comparison.
Yeah. Well, because the whole time I was thinking while watching this is like, man, this is so much like The Witcher, actually.
Oh yeah, actually, you know what? You're absolutely right. I had like, because they had there was a line in there, you know, when they were talking about like, you know, why do you even do this, you know, like, and you know, he's
like, yeah,
he says because I can't, he's because I'm a Dampier and I can't live with humans, you know.
No, it's well, yeah, he doesn't. He says, I don't get to live a life like you do. That's his line. It's like, it's the most, it's, I mean, I love it, but it's so melodramatic.
So it's actually a different line in the.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. This is some of the differences. It's a slightly different line in the Japanese.
Yeah.
Is like, I can't live the life of humans.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Because in the English translation, he's like, it's very much a like. It feels like he's saying I'm not allowed to be happy is essentially what it comes across as like, just like I'm a Dampier, so like I don't get to like have a normal life. I have to have a weird hunter life to make up for how awesome I am. Mm-hmm. That's at least how I took it.
Let me actually get. I think I'm close to. I'm a Dampier. I can't live like humans.
I can't live like humans. Interesting. Okay, let me see. Yeah. Let me get my exact line.
Yeah, because it's at 56:25.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, first of all, he's a dun peel. Oh, they changed the name.
That's what they call it there? That's so weird. What the hell is a dun peel?
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
Because a Dampier... Oh, wait, hang on.
A thing.
Also mistakenly called dun peel is a half...
Oh.
Okay, but a Dampier is an actual thing. I mean...
Yes.
Like...
Yeah, quote unquote. I'm a dun peel. I don't get to have a life, not like you.
That's so interesting. It's such a different characterization.
Yeah, it's very different. It's a very like, you know, oh woe is me, which makes the ending kind of happier in a way though, because it's like he's kind of like, you know, to skip right to the ending, obviously, but yeah. it makes the ending feel happier, I guess,
because
he's like, he does the thing for his old friend.
Mm-hmm. Well, even though he doesn't actually do it.
Well, yeah, but he doesn't have to.
Yes, he doesn't have to. But yeah,
but she like invites him in, and it's like, I don't know. No, he smiles at the end.
Oh, does he smile at the end? I don't know.
Yeah, he smiles at well, he like, okay, he's not actively frowning at the end, which for him is a smile.
There we go. I'll take that.
Yeah, if you skip, where is it? 130. No.
Oh yeah, no, he's sort of smiling. I'll give you that.
He is not actively frowning for once.
You know what? Maybe that's the title of this one. Not actively frowning.
Yeah, he looks at her and his mouth there's no like upturn to it. It's just a straight line.
Oh no, and I will say at 1:35:59, there is a
Oh, no, there is. Yeah.
There's an upturn. Okay. Yeah,
ever so slightly.
So it's okay. So it's interesting though, because that's a different experience. Because like his line to me, the reason why I was going to point it out is because it feels very much like, you know, it has like a very Witcher quality to it. You know, like the one that I heard or read rather.
Yeah.
Is because like, you know, what I felt was implied there is like he didn't say, you know, oh, I can't live like humans and I can't live like nobles. Like I'm trapped in the middle. It's I can't live like humans. And there's no, like, he has no desire to go live like the rest of the vampires. You know, he only wants to be among humanity, but can't. And that very much is like it's very similar to Geralt in that regard. If Geralt just wants to be a normal person, but can't, you know, it's not like he has any feelings of like, you know, oh, I'm pulled between one and the other. It's like, I don't want to be doing what I'm doing. I want to just be human, but that's not an option for me.
Yeah, I think that line is then kind of similar then.
Yeah, it's just the actual, like, I feel like there's a little bit more, it's a different nuance in that transition.
Sure, of course.
I mean, as you pointed out, right? Like in that one, it's just like, it sounds almost spiteful.
Yeah, it's a little like, you know, come off it, dude.
Yeah. Whereas that's more just like just explaining reality to her. Like, you know,
yes,
I don't have the option that you have, you know?
Yeah.
I can't just go back and be human. That's nobody's going to give me that choice. But no, I mean, actually, you know, since you skip forward to the ending, I will also skip forward to the ending because I wanted to mention something else as well. Is like, I was even though I should have seen it coming, I guess I didn't realize that like the funeral was for Layla, you know? And so that was like such a like, oh my God, so much time has passed now. Holy shit, you know?
Yes, no, I mean, same here. Even though I've seen the movie before, at the end I was like, wait, whose funeral is this? Who is that little child? Same.
That's I mean, that was such a good reveal. It's like you should get it because it's like he lives for a long time, but it's like no. I mean, like he just keeps trucking along, you know?
Yeah.
And it also
like that happened and then like 100 years passes.
Yeah. And it also like, you know, kind of spits in the face a little bit of what Meyer Link said about like, you know, you're going to fail one day. And it's like, okay, yeah, fine, but I haven't yet.
Yeah.
You know?
He's still doing it.
Yeah, and I like that. It's just like, you know, it's like, because if they left it where they left it, like, it still would have been a great movie, you know?
But nowhere near as good. No, that ending is very important.
That ending is amazing. Like, it's, you know, it's so hard to stick a landing on things. Like,
yes.
Ending things is so tricky, because it's like, you never... Like it's almost like a little bit like cheating because, you know, like of the nature of the character.
Yeah, because he gets to get we actually get closure on the entire story.
Yes.
And because he refuses dinner, like there is no continuation of that chain.
Yes.
It's a clean break in a way that almost no story ever gets to have, like you're saying.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, most of the time it's like, you know, okay, this happened, but like, you know, how about the rest of it? And it's like, not only basically we get like, okay,
yeah, we get it.
He continues to do this for a while. He survives. Everything is fine, allegedly, right?
Yep.
You know, and like he's going to continue doing what he's doing. And you feel comfortable with that because he basically did it for another 50 years.
Yeah.
At least.
And the other character like had a full life.
Yes. Yeah. No, it's, oh God. Yeah. It's like, yeah, this was a great movie that became a perfect movie in like the last, you know, couple minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think what it is it's a fake out because you think it's a funeral for Charlotte at first.
You
at least I did.
You know, I thought it was going to be a funeral for, I just thought it was going to be maybe a funeral for like the rest of the brothers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that works too.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God. I don't remember his name, but the main, like the jet analog mercenary. Just like such a sad when he like finds when the illusion in the coffins. And it's just like, he's like, yeah, woo. Oh my God, guys. Yeah, you're alive. Yeah. And he just immediately dies. It's like, oh my God. Yeah.
No, I mean, like all of them are like, it's so like unfortunate, you know, it's just like, 'cause
yes,
they just like, Their whole deal is just that they're just up against something that they're up against forces that they are not prepared to deal with. It's like they're yeah, sure, they're vampire hunters, but like they're not hunting the same level of vampire that this is, you know?
Yeah, they're zombie hunters.
Yeah. Yeah, they did great with like, yeah, those like lesser vampires, but like, you know, this is a whole different fucking level.
The real shit.
This is the real shit. So, you know, how am I supposed to, I guess maybe do you know, I didn't look it up, but like, how am I supposed to interpret like the ending with Meyer Link? Like, she's dead, right? Like, she's dead, or like, is he going to turn her into a vampire?
I don't know.
Okay.
I guess to me, she's dead.
Okay.
And he's like going away. He's essentially like dying.
Okay.
In a way.
Okay. He's just fucking
going to the vampire city.
He's fucking off to space.
To the city of night. But I don't know. I mean, maybe she will become a vampire.
Yeah, I kind of figured not, but like,
yeah, that seems like that would be against what the movie is about. Right? But it's possible.
It is possible.
I wonder what the book ends with.
Oh, yeah, I guess I was going to ask, have you read any of the light novels?
Nope.
Okay. And by the way, I
didn't realize there were so many of them until like literally 30 minutes ago.
I did confirm they were light novels, by the way.
Why did we have a discussion about that?
Well, yeah, last time you were like, "Oh, it just says novels in the Wikipedia." But they are. You were like, "There's no way they're like they're novels if there's 42 of them or whatever."
Oh yes,
but yes, I did find something that did explain that they are in fact, yes, actually light novels. So
they
you were correct.
Yeah, because there's no way.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I guess like, you know, the designs of like the Barbaroi.
Oh yes,
like their powers and stuff. Like, I mean, I guess really mostly it was the shadow guy was really just fucking cool, you know, like that felt like super like interesting as a power. Like, I guess turning into things is not that outlandish, and just having like, you know, fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles beast chest. It's like fucking,
Oh God,
what was it, Crumb or whatever? What the heck was the thing for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
I don't remember.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Like the guy that's like in the tummy of the other guy.
Oh yeah, Krog, or yeah, I know what you're talking
Crag,
about. Yeah,
Crag.
Crag. Yeah, something like that.
Oh God, that's like, you know, that's what I was thinking at the time. I was just like, oh man, he's got like a fucking Crag deal going on in his tummy. But like, the character designs themselves were cool, but I particularly liked the whole, you know, like the whole shadow element of it. I thought that was just kind of a neat type of power. I guess it's almost kind of like, did the Darkness do that? Was that a thing?
What?
You remember that? You remember that game, The Darkness? And
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
and I guess that's also a comic, but you know.
Yes. That's what I know it better as.
Yeah, but. Yeah. Does the in the Darkness, does like he go through like the shadows and stuff like that? Is that a power that he has? It's been ages since
Shadow teleportation. I think at one point maybe.
Okay, all right. It's been a long time, so I'm sure I'm misremembering things, but
Yeah, lots of cool powers.
I did have an amusing moment.
Oh yeah.
So you know the bridge scene.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, they're going along, you know, like, he's riding down that bridge, and they're like, oh, you know, like, because he's going to that castle or whatever, and they're like, well, we got to catch him before he goes to the castle. It's like, okay. It's like, and he's going to be crossing a long bridge, so we better get him there. And Lauren, and I paused it, and Lauren's like, yep. And I'm like, aren't they already on a long bridge? And I'm like, this better be a long fucking bridge. And then they get to the actual bridge, and it's like not even close to the size of the bridge they seem to be on in the first place. I was just like, that seems like a smaller bridge. Why would they say they're going on a long bridge? Did they say anything about the length of the bridge in the English?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't remember anything about that. They just say that they have to get there before he gets to the castle.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, yeah. Let me find the point. Yeah, getting a bad feeling. It's like around 57 something. Okay, that's interesting because another weird difference.
What time?
I'm almost there. I'm just trying to figure out exactly where it is. Yeah. Around. Okay, so 57:43.
Oh,
if I'm not wrong, there's a long bridge up ahead as he's on a giant fucking bridge.
Yeah, he just says there's a bridge up ahead.
I mean,
he doesn't mention anything about length.
Even still, he's on a bridge right now. Okay, so it's a little bit funny in the English. It's really funny in the Japanese. Because I mean, look at the length of that bridge and tell me that is not longer than the bridge they end up on.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I guess it's more like a highway versus a bridge.
That's what I said to Lauren. I was like, I guess it's more of a highway than a bridge. But I was just like, come on.
Well, then clearly that's what it is.
Yes. Okay. Oh man. So yes, that was I was amused by that.
Yeah. The carriage is a TARDIS, which is very cool.
Oh, I didn't.
Bigger on the inside.
I don't know that I noticed that.
It's very clearly bigger on the inside.
That's so weird. I don't know how I missed that.
Yeah. I mean, they don't show the inside of the carriage too many times, but you can tell that like if you look at like where is it, like 50, 58 or whatever, like when he goes in, 58, almost exactly 59 seconds. It's like, no, that's not a good one. There's one before that that's even better.
I mean, I guess you're right. I guess it is bigger than it.
Yeah, it's very much so bigger. It's like the one where she's like protecting the coffin right before they bring her out too. When is that? Was it earlier then? Maybe it was earlier. Well, anyway, but yes.
Yeah.
That.
Oh, shit. While I was scrolling around, speaking of cool powers, the one I actually meant to mention was the sickly dude.
Oh, yes, the sickly dude.
Dude,
yes.
Fuck off. That was so cool.
His whole thing.
That reveal was like the fact that they gotta like basically kill him and then he becomes like, oh, dude, that was so cool. Because when he started, like, I was like, okay, so he's sickly, but he turns into like this, this like super powerful guy. He's like, ha 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 ha, just blowing everybody up. But then like they cut back and he's dead. And I'm like,
yeah, he's just dead.
I'm like, oh shit, that's such an interesting thing.
Yeah. And but they do it with some sort of weird like injection too.
Yeah.
So like it's still technology. Mm-hmm. Like, so weird. Such a weird universe.
Oh man. And then what is it? 10814. That fucking like statue. I was like, this is some like Dark Souls shit right here.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, the whole castle is ridiculous.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yes, yeah. It's a fucking 40K castle with like Dark Souls shit in it and a fucking 40K like cathedral spaceship.
Yeah. And like an evil witch.
And an evil witch.
The Countess. To top it all off.
Oh, man. Yeah, and I liked how the fact that like she was also like dead, but like projecting herself somehow or whatever.
Yeah, the whole castle kind of.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like the whole yeah, I guess she was almost like holding up the entire castle with her like fucking insane craziness.
Yeah, her spite.
Her spite.
Yeah. Oh, she's got a spaceship in it because apparently vampires used to just do a lot of space travel in this world.
Yeah, I mean, why not? You know, if you live forever, you may as well do a little space travel.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. This shit.
It's good. It's very good. There's not really a lot of like. It's pretty basic. You know. It made me cry at the end. You know. I consider that a success if a movie makes me do that.
Yeah. There you go.
You know. For as depressing of a movie as it is, because like almost all the characters that you like die, it is still a happy ending just because of how long of a view it takes. Yeah. Yeah. What'd you think? Any other thoughts?
I love this. I mean, this was just, you know, it's funny because when we were talking about earlier, when we were talking about like favorite anime, you know, because you mentioned Serial Experiments Lane, and I always have trouble, you know, talking about like things that are short, right? Because like to me, you know, if something is good and short and you're comparing it to something that is good and long, like shouldn't the long thing win every single time because it's longer? So it's like it was good for longer, but like this was the perfect length. Like,
yeah.
Like,
you don't always need more.
You don't always need more. Sometimes more is better. Sometimes more is not better. This was the perfect amount of movie, you know? Because sometimes I feel like with movies, like I watch it and I'm like, I feel like I barely was involved in this world, you know? Like I didn't really get to experience what I wanted to experience out of this. And I was just, I mean, it's okay to be left wanting, but sometimes it's like there's a level where it's like I feel like I'm too left wanting, where it's like not enough happened that I care. A lot of stuff happened in a very like just in 2 hours, you know, less than 2 hours. And I never like I felt like at the end of this I was like I got a good feel for this world. Like would I want more? Sure, but like I don't feel like I didn't get to experience this world.
Yeah, it feels like they touched on like a good spread of stuff.
And the stuff that they left implied, you could imply enough from it that you were satisfied, you know, like I don't need to see all of the other nobles or anything about them. It's like the remnants of them left behind and the ones that we do see give you enough information to kind of like understand a lot of how the world is.
Yeah. Amazing.
God, it's so fucking good. So this is a fucking excellent recommend. What can I say? Yeah,
I'm happy myself because I didn't remember it being this good.
That's always a nice surprise.
Yes, I was like, oh wow, like damn, I did not appreciate this as a kid as much as I should have. I'm very glad we watched it again.
I'm glad I watched it for the first time.
Yeah, it goes way up higher on my list now of things.
Yeah, especially now that you've seen it in more than 3 pixels.
Yeah, exactly.
But all right, so you talked about last time, and I'm down to do it. Did you want to watch Neo Tokyo next time?
Ooh, yeah. Is Neo Tokyo the one we want to watch? Is that the right one?
The anime science fiction anthology film?
1987. Yeah, but which ones does this have? This has Memories. Yes. Yep. This is the one we want to watch, definitely.
Wait, Memories is what we want to watch?
No. Sorry, I thought this one had... I'm not thinking of... Memories is a different one. Shoot.
Yeah, Memories is a science fiction anthology film that has Magnetic Rose, Stink Bomb, and Cannon Fodder.
Okay, so we should watch Neo Tokyo and Memories, would be my recommendation.
Okay, both of those?
If we're going to watch, yeah. Because there's like... Every once in a while they do one of these anthology films where they get all the big like current anime directors to go make a little short. Like there's more of these. There's Genius Party, there's Genius Party Beyond, right? There's like they do these every few years.
Okay.
But the 2 best ones are Neo Tokyo and Memories.
Okay.
Like we should watch those 2. Yeah.
Okay. And you think that's a good like
that'll cover us.
Both of those for an episode?
Yeah, because Neo Tokyo is only 50 minutes.
Okay. And Memories is 113. Okay.
Yeah, and Memories is like just a movie, essentially with 3 parts.
Okay.
And not all of these will have a lot to talk about other than like, wow, that like was really cool. right?
Well,
so it's probably good to have 6 to talk about.
Well, we kind of did that with this too, so fuck yeah, let's do it. I am prepared to say, wow, that was really cool 6 times.
Yeah, you will. Yeah, exactly. You will. Yeah, I can't. Yeah. Great. It's been a while since I watched those too, so hell yeah.
Fuck yeah, man. All right, this was excellent. We will talk again next time.
Yes. Peace.
See ya.